Hello, Heart of Tarot people, and thank you, Teresa, for entering the competition to get a chakra clearing tarot spread. So this one's a really good one for looking at the big picture. I also use chakra clearing spreads or chakra spreads to see about health matters and seeing which of the chakras are affecting ill health or which ones might be out of balance. So doing a reading for Teresa, having a look at the balance between her chakras. Starting at the base, childhood issues that are currently affecting you. Princess of Swords, move that down a bit. Sacral chakra, the emotion bottling up inside, and we've got the moon. Solar plexus, something causing me anxious feelings or stress. We got the Tower. Heart, how can I be more compassionate with myself? Prince of Pentacles. Temperance. To the Divine, Queen of Wands, beautiful card. Okay, so we've got a couple of biggies in there, Teresa. So we want to start at the base chakra. Princess of Swords. I'm using my Illuminati deck, illustrated by Eric Dunn. Princess of Swords is like the Page of Swords. It's a rebel, it's always on it, it's fighting for its rights, it's fighting for social justice. And in the base chakra, which is concerned most with our security, our survival needs, our sense of belonging, the childhood issue that's currently affecting you is perhaps feeling like a rebel, feeling like you had to fight to be understood. You had to fight for the kind of survival that worked for you. In your family group, there's a part of you that wanted to be more outspoken, whether you were or you weren't. A part of you that wanted to rise up and exercise that teenage rebellion part of you. And perhaps because this is in the base chakra, saying it's the childhood issue affecting you now, you either wish that you spoke up more, or you're feeling like if you speak up, you won't get survival. Perhaps you're feeling like the rebellion that did or didn't happen when you were younger, is you're still stuck with that stigma. So this is what's affecting you now. We'll see how that plays out. The emotion that you're bottling up inside, and I'm so sorry, Teresa, but it's the moon, which is all of our hidden emotions, our subconscious fears. There's a lot of fear inside, or a lot of emotion inside. The sacral chakra deals with all your reproductive organs and how you do intimacy, how you connect. So I'm wondering if there's something there for you, perhaps changes around your cycle, changes around being a mother, or perhaps this childhood issue coming up around motherhood. The moon is really about your fears. So there's something that's not sitting right with you. Or I actually feel it's something that wants to be expressed. And our next card along is the Tower in the solar plexus position. Solar plexus is about your self-worth, your ambition, your drive. It's ego health. Is your ego strong or is your ego being crushed? Solar plexus is the last chakra that sort of deals with our body needs, and these upper ones are more about our emotional, psychological and spiritual health. So something going on in your solar plexus is tipping the balance of power. Underneath, we've got this rebellion. So I don't know if there's something that you feel you really had to speak out and you're very afraid of really airing this strong emotion. Or if you've just had it, you've just had enough right now. These are very strong cards, and I know you have the strength to see this through. But there's something from childhood that's now become an issue for you, and I feel you really want your voice heard, and you want your expression very clear. I might come back to these two because they're difficult to have in the sacral area and the solar plexus. It's like you've been sitting on a ball of emotion and it's erupted. And it's left you wondering, am I safe? But the heart is the one that's telling us how you can be more compassionate with yourself. And it's the Prince of Pentacles. The Prince of Pentacles is like the Knight of Pentacles in other decks. And in your heart, it's about knowing the work you've put in, knowing you have put in steady, diligent, practical help. There's a real patience that comes with this card. It's about knowing the long-term future, the long-term goals, and setting your discipline and your mind to that task. So your heart is very loyal. You've really put in for the long haul here, whatever this frustration is, in your heart. You know you've done all you can, you've put in the work, you've been committed, you've been practical, you've been dedicated, and you've gone along with doing what needs to be done. How can you be more compassionate to yourself? And you're really calling for it here. And unless right now is like a gastric episode or something really going on in your solar plexus that's causing physical disruption. Remember, the solar plexus is connected to the stomach and the liver, the gallbladder, all the digestive organs in the center of your body. So how can you be more compassionate with yourself? Take things step by step. Consider your practical needs. Consider the work that you've done, and where you've been overly responsible, pull back and give to you. You can give this strength to others, no problem. But it's about being steady and consistent for yourself. Now that might mean, because Pentacles are earth sign, it might mean in your heart that you make very clear boundaries around exercise or a physical routine or the food you're eating or how you serve your family, and that you now need that dedication and loyalty to yourself. It might also be about you in your heart, perhaps wanting to go to work. I know that you're a stay-at-home mum. I'm not sure if you are working, but it might be something in your heart that wants to go out and earn money again. And this is part of you dealing more compassionately with yourself, expanding your horizon. The Temperance card is the belief I'm holding on to too strongly, and it's in the throat. Throat chakra is about the expression of you, your spiritual truth. And because the thyroid is there, which is a balancing organ, Temperance card matches beautifully with the thyroid. Thyroid is the card that deals with hormones. And we've got a bit of a hormonal thing perhaps going on here. So it might be that your hormones are a bit out of balance, Teresa, causing this build-up in the reproductive area. And where that's breaking out through the solar plexus, through a need to command self-respect or command your position, or have the recognition, ego recognition, healthy ego recognition that you exist. Underneath these things is, as we know, the childhood issue around rebelling, having to fight for being seen, having to be the one that's a bit different, or having your needs not recognised. So by the time we get up to throat, and it's Temperance card with flow and balance and compromise, I am thinking this might be a hormonal imbalance, and also where you've compromised so much, and your expression of yourself. This is part of that expression, this rebellious teenager, where your expression has been perhaps dulled down or diluted or compromised and merged too far. Perhaps what the throat is saying here, that you've been too easygoing. The belief that you're holding on to too strongly is that you have to be patient and nice and good and kind all the time. But when we're going through hormonal imbalances, the subconscious and the somatic emotion that comes from your body actually has this very eruptive effect. The third eye How can I connect with my life's purpose? Gorgeous card, Queen of Wands. Fantastic card. Get control. This, seriously, this might be about you wanting to go and get some paid work. Wanting you to be able to lead and be respected and be seen. To be the creator and the leader of your own destiny. How can you connect to your life's purpose? There is a leadership role for you, Teresa. It's still, we've got the cat in the middle. It's still about holding on to some secret part or holding on to this, you know, great strength that you've got. And it's about channeling it into the area that makes you passionate. So there's something in this reading that's saying, stepping out from where you've been very able to adapt and compromise and balance, and taking a bit more of that leadership role. I don't know what you've got in fire signs, but if you have a strong Leo, Sag or an Aries, these might be being activated at this time for you. So it's a very creative, you know, this is spiritual boss lady. It might be time for you really to get on top of your true calling, beyond being just a fabulous friend, wife, mother, student, you know. I know you're all of those things, but it's time to do it for you. Maybe that's why the solar plexus is erupting. You're frustrated that it's time for you to lead your way with passion and creativity. The crown chakra is how can I deepen my connection to the divine? And we have the judgment card. So you're hearing the calling, Teresa. This is, I think it's Gabrielle. So we might have to Google that. Giving the call for what's been dead and buried and what was let go, what you let go of, is now time to rise. So it's quite an exciting time for you. This really is calling this passion and purpose. I wonder also if there's a teaching role in some way. This is real leadership. It's you leading independently your particular stream and your particular gift. And there's an opportunity now coming down through the crown chakra that's calling you to connect more deeply with this Queen of Wands. This is really, really strong up here when we move from basically the ego part of you, which has a lot of fear and is really worried that things are falling apart. And the childhood part is, I needed my voice to be heard. And rising up to these upper chakras, which show this great strength and inspiration. This single-mindedness to get on top of it and get moving. So I might just have another look at, I'll draw a clarifier for these two. The crown chakra, how can I deepen my connection? Hear the call. This is an inevitable ending. There is something that's closing off for you and you are ready to move forward with independence and skill and respect, and to be seen and recognised for who you are. So I'll just draw a clarifier over those two. Give us a bit of a guide about what this is. If you don't know what it is, let's have a look. The Hanged Man. It's still brewing. Something is brewing. You are giving birth to something different. You're giving birth to an idea, a project, a new line of work. So for the time being, you feel you're not able to shift with that. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. That's the timing with the Hanged Man. And, you know, really, all of us at the moment are in an incubation period with all the planets retrograde and Pluto and Jupiter retrograde together. There's a lot of push to get to your truth. So potentially in 3 months, some of those planets are going to start moving forward again. So that might be 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 months. That might be when the Hangman turns and you're able to step through into this new phase. The most difficult card we have here, The Tower is really, it's not difficult. The Tower is comfortable in the solar plexus. You know, something causing you anxious feelings and stress. Stress itself, that it's the end of something, because your childhood experience was if you spoke up or acted independently, you know, potentially that would cause great, you know, terrible disaster and emotional upheaval and all sorts of things. So that's your fear and your anxious feelings, and very much connected to this. So if you are having problems in your reproductive area, if you're having pain, if you know, this might need a little bit of surgery. So I'm just going to check that one too, Teresa. Card here, Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is just being strategic and establishing higher ground. I wouldn't think this is surgery. I would think this is you establishing your position step by step in order to become the Queen of Wands, connecting with your life's purpose. So for the time being, these battles that you're fighting here, although you may feel like terribly guilty about it, these battles are very important strategically in order for you to get the advantage, get to the higher position, to this compromising, beautiful balance that you have here in the throat chakra, the belief you're holding on so strongly, that you always have to be adaptable and bending. This is now you saying, no, I matter. I need my moment in the sun. I also have my Orion's deck here, these beautiful animal cards, illustrated by Ambison, who is a Melbourne artist. These are beautiful cards. So I'm going to draw a clarifier for you, Teresa. These are very strong. This is like the eruption, and then you really paying out on yourself, having to hold that excess energy in. But it's all about you getting to this point here, the Queen of Wands. So a card just to guide Teresa, given that it's a bit tumultuous for her right now, and this inner rebellion that may or may not have ever got expressed, is what's coming up now for you. So a card to guide Teresa, Queen of Cups. Beautiful. So although there's this this real push to express your leadership, your ambition, your creativity, you know, your very quick thinking, your humour, you know, seeing the big picture and the vision, a guiding card for you is the Queen of Cups. And I think this is for you to still maintain that balance that you have about being very loving and very kind, very serving to your family, very available. And there's a way to balance this out, to give that Queen of Cups energy, the empathy, the love, the unconditional love to all aspects of yourself. So to be giving that love to the teenage part, to be giving that love to the loyal, committed part, give it back to you. Give that to your fears, this beautiful Queen of Cups energy. Know that is part of your essence, and you don't lose that. It's actually a loving act for you to move towards this Queen of Wands energy. So some big cards there, Teresa. I hope that helps. Let me know how all that went down for you. Wishing you all the best. And thanks for entering that little competition. It's a nice Sunday read. Thank you, Heart of Tarot people. Thank you, My Mystery School. I'm Merryl Key, and if you want a consultation, astrology, tarot, or holistic kinesiology, give me a call, make contact, and we can set up a time for you. Thanks, everyone.